Due to the secretive nature of the club, it is unclear exactly how the Hells Angels got its start, but all versions include them coming from roots of white supremacy. The Mongols started in Montebello, California, created by Hispanic Vietnam vets because they could not join the Hells Angels because of the color of their skin. Both gangs made money as a criminal enterprise. They profited from drug dealing, racketeering, weapon dealing, and fear-mongering. On a motorcycle gang member's vest, or cut, is 3 pieces of information: the gang's name, the gang's logo, and on the bottom part, called the rocker, is the gang's territory. All gangs put what city they're from on the rocker, but the Hells Angels had California on theirs. The Mongols took issue with this and started putting California on their rockers. This was the beginning of the rivalry between the Hells Angels and the Mongols. September 1st, 1977. Mongols Emerson Redbeard Morse and Raymond Jingles Smith were riding on the freeway in Escondido, California. 2 Hells Angels in a car pulled up beside them and attacked them with an assault rifle, leaving them both dead on the freeway. At the funeral, a car approached. A man got out and placed red and white flowers on the caskets and left. He would go relatively unnoticed until the car exploded, injuring 3 Mongols, red and white being the signature colors of the Hells Angels. The Mongols would retaliate by killing 2 high-ranking Hells Angels members outside of a bar. This war would go on for over a decade. Late 1990s, Sonny Barger, the current leader of the Hells Angels, negotiated a truce. Hells Angels would have Northern California, and the Mongols would have the South. The Mongols had recruited local gangs, even if they didn't have motorcycles, just to bolster their numbers. At one point, just within the city of LA, the Hells Angels had 5 chapters, the Mongols had 39. But a few incidents would add fuel to a fire that wasn't quite snuffed out. The Mongols would open a chapter in Pasadena, California, the Angels' territory. They would also deal drugs and weapons in that territory, and some Mongols would be seen with Angels' wives or old ladies. The situation finally reached a head Sunday, April 7, 2002, in Laughlin, Nevada. The rival gangs attended the Laughlin River Run motorcycle rally. Mongols were staying at Harris Casino, and the Hells Angels would stay at the Flamingo on opposite sides of the town to avoid each other. There's 2 versions of the story, but what we do know is that a handful of Hells Angels were at the bar at Harris Casino in an act of defiance against the Mongols. They drank and played poker for hours, which led to comments being thrown back and forth and the suggestion that they take it outside. Here's where the story hits a fork in the road. One version of the story will tell you that a local police officer went to the Hells Angels at the Flamingo and told them that a few of their brothers were in trouble at Harris Casino. Another version of the story tells you that one of the Hells Angels called their brothers on a cell phone. Either way, the end result was about 60 Hells Angels storming the bar at Harris Casino armed with knives, hammers, baseball bats, and even a few pistols. After much arguing, yelling, and threatening back and forth, an angel named Raymond Folks was the first one to strike by kicking a Mongol in the chest. All hell was about to break loose. The leader of the Mongols was stabbed 4 times and taken out the back door by his brothers in the gang to be taken to the hospital. Meanwhile, 4 Mongols had surrounded Cal Schaefer, and when they wouldn't respond to his threats with a hammer, he pulled out a handgun and started firing. At the end of the brawl, a SWAT team had arrested 42 Mongols and 70 Angels. The police confiscated 14 firearms and 110 knives. 2 Hells Angels and 1 Mongol were left dead, and dozens were left injured on both sides. Despite there being over 100 men involved, only 11 members would face charges due to both gangs adhering to a strict code of silence. Even now, the Mongols have made alliances with the Outlaws, the Pagans, the Sons of Silence, and the Banditos to band together against the Hells Angels. They also keep their ties to Latino street gangs. The bloody rivalry continues to this day. J Mac, out.